Hi, I'm David Frei. I'm here with Doug Johnson and Jamie Hubbard, who are two of our judges for the virtual American Heart Association International Dog Show. Guys, glad you're with us. Glad you're part of the show.
Sure, we are.
Yep, thrilled.
And it only makes sense because you're certainly part of the dog show world, a very visible part of the dog show world in so many ways. And I think it's going to be a fun event for all of us. How are you looking forward to it?
I can't wait. I mean, it'll be good to go back to judging some dogs.
Yeah, I think we've all been looking for an avenue to, get back into the swing of things, and this is a real logical choice for right now. So yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are going stir crazy, and we hope we don't have to do virtual dog shows too long, but it might be fun to do one every once in a while. And for those of you who are watching and listening here, you can probably tell that Jamie's from another planet, down under from Australia.
I sure am.
He's a nice import for us to have in our world. So
I've been here 16 years now, David.
16 years.
Yeah, amazing.
You still talk like Jim Hickey.
Well, thanks. Yes, old Afghan guy.
Another Afghan guy, another dog show guy down there. Jamie, your breed is American Cockers, English Cockers?
Yeah, when I was a kid in Australia, my breed was American Cockers, absolutely. Yeah.
And is the American Cocker what got you here? You had American Cockers in Australia, of course. For
right.
People
yeah.
who may not know that.
Right. The reason I'm here is actually because of this guy. So,
we didn't have American Cockers when we met.
No, we did, but yeah.
Oh, well, that's great. Doug, you are the only person in Westminster, I'm drawing on my Westminster history background here. You're the only person in Westminster history to have won Best in Show as a breeder of two different breeds.
True.
So I think that's amazing. You're the AKC Breeder of the Year. You guys together,
Right.
Breeders of the Year in the sporting group. And so you pack a lot of credentials in here.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, we're proud of you. We're happy to have you. And I love what you're doing with the Preservation Breeder program.
Yeah, I think that's,
tell us a little bit about that. That's so important to all of us, and
Sure.
Give us some bullet points on that.
Well, that really stemmed from the fact that we breed breeds that are endangered species.
Mm-hmm.
We have very low entry breeds, and we do feel a responsibility to keep breeding them so that they don't go extinct. And that morphed into a really larger cause, which was preservation breeding and keeping people breeding dogs, period, when the climate for that changed pretty drastically. So it's important that we all, and I actually think the pandemic sort of has helped reinvigorate breeding. So people are breeding more litters right now. We're home, we have time. I've tried to encourage people to keep breeding. And if you have a breed like a golden retriever, why not think about adopting a second breed and get a breed that is maybe a little more in need or a little more rare than what you have to sort of advance their cause. Because at the end of the day, if they're gone, they're gone. They don't just, they're not going to resurrect. So it's really important to keep people active in monitoring the population of these low or minor breeds, low entry breeds, so that they have a voice, they have a champion, and they have a place. And there's a lot of really interesting, I've been taking a lot of seminars during this COVID break, and there's a lot of low entry breeds that are fascinating that need people to breed them.
What do you think is the level at which a dog becomes an endangered species, as it were, an endangered breed?
I think when you're dealing with a breed like Sussex Spaniels that may have 1 to 4 litters born in this country a year,
Mm-hmm.
that certainly qualifies. You are dealing with a zero population growth. They're only reproducing the number of dogs that die in a given year. That's sort of dangerously low and frightening as a breeder, as someone who's invested a lot of time and effort into keeping the breed alive. That worries me. And so I do try to get more and more people involved in breeding them. I think, we know if you look at something like the polar bear, has a nationwide sponsor in Delta Airlines that's, very concerned, or Coca-Cola, these companies that are, giving light to the plight of the polar bear. And there's really no one investing that kind of money or effort in saving the Dandy Dinmont or the
American Foxhound.
Yeah.
I mean, just tons of breeds.
the
like that.
Harrier. All of those breeds are scarce in numbers, and frighteningly so.
How do you hope a dog show of any kind, whether it's virtual or live, plays into this, into helping people realize that? I'm sure education is part of it, but above and beyond that too.
Well, there is no question that the breeds, my two beginning breeds, the Sussex Spaniel and the Clumber Spaniel, they benefited greatly with their win from the Westminster Kennel Club. I mean, those breeds were put on the map, and the Clumber Spaniel benefited tremendously, still does. I get calls still today for people that want to buy dogs that saw Brady win Best in Show that night, and still say, oh my God, I always wanted one of those. It was the most beautiful dog I've ever seen. I mean, it sort of takes you back as a breeder that all these many years later, people still remember that.
And that was
It's almost 25 years ago. It was 1996.
1996.
With Brady, sure.
But, those two dogs, and Stump, the Sussex, had such an unusual story, and he made that headline with him being so old. So it was kind of,
he was the oldest winner ever at Westminster.
Right. It's just a really cool story. So these dog shows and an event like this would certainly, highlight those rare breeds as well. Getting the public to see them, to learn about them. It's people sometimes do want something just a little off the beaten track. And, nothing against the Labrador or the Golden, but, these minor breeds, they need people to be active in them.
My favorite story about Stump is when we were doing the post-show media tour and running around, and somebody asked him, why do you call him, how did he get the name Stump? and Scott says, look at him. He says, what do you mean? He is a stump. But that was part of the educational process as we went around. Not everybody can win Westminster and build that kind of a stage to promote the breeds. What can other people do other than go to dog shows and talk to people as they're walking down the street?
I think just having a presence either on Facebook or a website,
Instagram,
getting the breeds featured somewhere certainly helps. And sort of if you look at the Berger Picard, how they were featured in that movie, you have the ability to all of a sudden spark an interest from someone, and so there are avenues to have it happen.
All right, well, let's do a little jump shift here. How is judging the virtual dog show going to help your breeds that are endangered, and how's it going to help our sport and promote the whole idea of what we do every day? Either one of you, take a shot.
Okay, so I think it's for on the one level, it's helping people get back into the swing of things. It's food for the exhibitor, for the breeder. It's something that they've been craving. It's that camaraderie. It's also some competition that we haven't had in quite some time. It's a way to virtually reconnect.
And judges too. I mean, you're still active as a breeder, owner, handler, judge, both of you. And I think you're probably going to stir crazy as the rest, maybe more so because you have 3 or 4 different categories there to be crazy.
I mean, I think we do live for the judging. I mean, we love to judge, and we are not the only two in this country and around the world that like the challenge of going to a dog show and letting people know how we feel about certain breeds and where they should be, and the competition from the exhibitors and handlers with their good dogs. That is thoroughly enjoyable for us standing back and actually judging them. And we miss that. I mean, that's part of the debate about judging.
Well, it's your social network. It's, they become, that you travel, you see people you've known for, the better part of your life. You haven't seen them. It's good to reconnect that way. So that is something that we miss about judging. You have the ability to be with your extended family. I mean, after all, the reality is that we spend more time at dog shows with our dog show friends than we would with people we're actually related to. So they are the true family.
No question. No question. And you guys are grand friends to have for everybody, because we want to be the beneficiaries of your knowledge and your enthusiasm. And so you're fun to see at a dog show, so we can talk about that and generate that. How do you see this working, the virtual dog show? It's a first. I think the AKC is doing one, and somebody in the United Kingdom is doing one, I believe. But really, nobody's seen one yet. What are you doing as judges?
Well, I have actually judged. I did a competition about a month ago, virtually online, with a Russian English Toy Spaniel club, and it was really different. It was actually, as a breeder of that breed, it was really a lot of fun to get to see a lot of that one breed from, you know, a country I've never been to, and really get to look at them. So, I mean, I think there's benefits for both the exhibitor and the judge.
I also think you get the opportunity as a judge to have more than your 2 minutes with the dog, because you can go through a class and then have the ability to go back to what's been submitted to, you know, weed out some of those finer details, because you might go through a class of 4 or 5 and you go, well, I like those two, so they're up the front, and you can go back to them and really assess their details, you know, with a microscope. So it gives you a more chance to delve into those details going virtual.
I remember my football playing days from high school, where we would watch films all the time, and they hit the clicker to run it back. Hit the clicker, run it back. Hit the clicker, run it back. You're going to be able to do that too. You're not going to see. You're not going to. I think if most people edit what they're sending to you, which they would, you might not ever see a misstep.
Right. And I think that's actually the benefit to the exhibitor that's posting these photos and videos, is that they get many opportunities to submit the absolute best of their dog, because they can go and send them down and back, you know, 20 times until they feel that it's really the perfect shot.
Are you worried that somebody's going to really make a production of it, bring in Hollywood producers and
nothing would surprise me. Nothing would surprise me at all.
That's the truth. Well, I think we're going to have a great time with it, and it's, of course, for great causes that we believe in. American Heart Association, you know, how that not only touches people but touches dogs. I'm involved with the Cavalier Club, the parent club, on a heart research project that we are now partnering with the AHA, but also the Canine Health Foundation, which touches all of us in the sport, and I think that's great, and we appreciate you guys. It's going to be probably the largest judging panel you've ever been on, 133 judges.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, that's fun.
We work in home healthcare, and we actually do a fundraiser once a year.
Oh, nice.
The American Heart Association. So this is really close to our heart.
What healthcare do you work for? My wife works for a hospital, is why I ask.
We own 2 Comfort Keeper franchises, and we have a medical agency called
Elders Journey
Home Care, and it does medical care.
So it's all care in the home. So, you know, we have over 700 employees, and again, we do that fundraiser once a year for the American Heart Association.
And about now, I've got to ask, you've got time to sit and talk to me for 3 minutes right now? It's got to be a busy time for you in your real world.
For sure.
Doug raced here.
I raced home to get here.
Well, that's great. Well, God bless you for what you're doing every day.
Thanks.
And it's great to have you in the Dog Show family. It's great to have you on our panel here and be a part of what we're doing. And I would say I look forward to seeing you, but I'm seeing you now, so that may be the extent of seeing you. But hopefully we'll get back into the real dog show world soon enough. But we all need to be healthy and safe, and
it'll happen.
And that's more important than anything else. It'll happen. That's right. Thank you very much. I worry about when Dr. Fauci was asked about whether dogs can carry it or catch it. He says, we don't think so. And pause, and he says, but we just don't know. And that worries me. I'm sure it worries everybody out there in the dog show world too, about their dogs. And hopefully we'll find out about all those things and be able to move along. So
Right.
We hope so.
it's great to talk to you guys. It's nice to have some time with you, and I'll look forward to seeing you somewhere down the road. I hope you have a great time and enjoy your assignment.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.